Hey, I'm back. I'm sorry I didn't post yesterday. I was busy with some stuff, but I think I got enough time to post now. And you already see the thumbnail. You already know what this is about, and I know y'all are loving this series, and so am I. Cause y'all commenting me, "Where's part 5? Where's part 5?" I'm like, I got you. It's coming out, and here it is, part 5. So what if Naruto was in high school DxD? She cooked for you? Issei shouted. Unfair. Shut up. She can make ramen. She can make ramen. She's decided to make it as a gift for me. Naruto slurped from his bowl. It tastes it really did taste nostalgic. This is very much Ria's, Kiba said, eating carefully. Thank you, Kiba, Ria said, taking her own bowl. I feel bad about barging in on Naruto like that, so I decided to make his favorite food. Ramen is your favorite? Is your favorite? Issei asked. Why? Eat this and tell me it isn't good. I dare you. Naruto glared at Issei. Ramen is a gift from God to. Ow! Every devil flinched at that word. Oh shit! Sorry, Naruto said. I forgot that you can't say that. It's alright, Ria said, rubbing her forehead. You aren't a devil. You forgot. Anyway, ramen is special to me. It was my mother's favorite food too. Naruto smiled, eating faster. Well, anyway, how did you become so powerful, Naruto? Kiba asked. It must have been something other than training. Well, I wasn't always this powerful. I used to be just as weak as the people from this dimension. I had to do a lot of training to get here, and it really was a lot of training. Weak as Issei? Konako asked. Yeah, well, not since I graduated from the academy. I was already faster than he was before then, and physically you're fit. Stop, Issei whined. We get it, you're strong. Tell us more. Why are you being so mean to me? Pervert should die. Die is a strong word. I say castrated. Naruto commented, finally getting the chopsticks up to his mouth. He was starting to get it. It just took some time. I thought when you trained with Jiraiya, why do you hate perverts? I don't hate him, but arrow sending was getting old. You're still young, and you're already losing focus on what's important. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Breasts are the most important thing. Naruto just dead panic. I will never forget that. Let's move on, Ria said, trying to stir the conversation away from breasts. Naruto, as our sensei, I was thinking that maybe we should have our first lesson today. I mean, it's not like you have anything. I have anything to do. But where? Naruto asked. As devils, I'm sure that you can't just train out in the open. I definitely can't do that. Excuse me. The people would freak out if a tree disappeared in one day. Well, the Grimmery family does have private training areas, but my brother has given you something better. Rhea stood up, walking towards the wall. A massive Grimmery magic circle appeared. My brother has installed a seal on this wall. We are able to use it to travel to our own private dimension. That's awesome! Your brother is the best! Naruto shouted, running towards the magic circle. Wait, how am I supposed to use this? As always, hold up. As always, rushing in before you have any information. Karama, be quiet. And I can't use magic. Can I use this without you guys? I don't know. This is a magic circle for the Gremory family. But maybe my brother did something. It would be strange for it to be in your house without you being able to use it. Hold on. Naruto held his hand to the center of the circle. Let me try something. Naruto began to accumulate chakra from his hand. Lucifer said to sample my chakra. It might have been for this. Naruto pushed the chakra into the circle. The circle began to morph, changing shape until all it stood was enter. So he did do something. It says enter, but there's no doorway. Issei said, where do we go? Like this. Naruto walked forward, and his arm disappeared into the wall. It's a passageway now. Kind of like my Renegon portals. Maybe you can make a portal for this training dimension. I don't even know how to find dimensions right now. How how would I ever find this one? Just leave some of your chakra behind as a marker. You should be able to track that easy. I never thought of that, Naruto thought, walking through the wall. I know. Now then, what what to do first? Naruto sighed, looking around. The dimension itself was pretty normal. It was a grassy plain that stretched out as long as Naruto could see. The trees were scattered around, along with a small stream waving its way through the landscape. It reminded him of the training ground 3. We'll be waiting for you, Sensei, Keep it asked, bowing. Don't call me Sensei. I'm not that old yet, Naruto yelled. He sighed, holding his hand up. I'm just going to see how high your levels are for now. Then I can decide what needs to be done. 6 clones appeared. One of them, one for each member of the Piratage. Now then, pick one and go. The 6 clones chose randomly, bringing that member of the Piratage a good distance from each other. Naruto stayed in the middle, watching over everybody at once. He already knew that Azia wasn't very physically fit, and she was more oriented to a support fighting style. But Naruto believed in the fact that everyone should be able to defend themselves. What good is it being the greatest healer on planet Earth if you died in one hit? What if your team couldn't defend you? Sakura may have been far weaker than everyone else on the team, but she at least had been able to hold her own in a battle. Azia's clone was the first to go. Azia was weak. He knew that it wasn't her fault, but she was weak. She wasn't even willing to attack the clone. The clone tried to bait her into doing something, even attacking her head on, but she just flinched, and then the clone gave up. Naruto went up to Azia. I'm sorry, I couldn't even do anything. Azia sounded so small. It's fine. It's just that I have even more to teach you. Naruto ruffled her hair. You're a healer, not a fighter, but you still need to be able to defend yourself. I'll teach you. Don't worry. Azia smiled softly, and Naruto returned to the center, watching the other fights along with Azia. Issei was next. Naruto had to say that Issei had potential, but when anything about breast was mentioned, he became exponentially more determined. However, right now, he wasn't suited for fighting. He was still weak and slow and dumb. He rushed directly forward, never tried anything new. His balance breaker thing only lasted 10 seconds. and after that, Issei became useless. Naruto began to make Issei work much harder. He needed to become physically stronger. The fact that his power was double every 10 seconds was cool, but it cut Issei's stamina in half, and Issei didn't have much of that. Uh, hmm, where do I want to go with this? Okay, alright, Azia, could you go heal Issei? Of course. Azia ran over to Issei, who laid on the ground. Naruto had told his clones to go easy, but he still was extremely powerful. He could break rocks with his hands, and Issei still only had a few abilities of a very athletic human. He was definitely hurting. Next was Kiba. Kiba was fast, faster than Rias's knights had been, but Kiba was weak. His speed helped him get close, but his blows did nothing. Even against Naruto's mediocre kunai use, his blows didn't have the power to do any damage. Wait, where did I get a kunai? I don't have any on me. Naruto ran over to Kiba, who sat on the ground panting. Hey Kiba, do you know where my clone got that kunai? I went through its memories, but I'm missing a few seconds here and there. Naruto's memory wasn't perfect after all. Yeah, you kinda put your hand out, and this strange light appeared, and then you were holding a kunai. Why? Because I don't know where I I would have gotten one. Naruto sighed. Not like it really mattered. Kiba needed to work on his strength, along with his very, very low durability. One hit from Naruto had sent the boy flying. Next was Konako. He was surprised at her ability to break the ground. He was able to do that in his base form, but only if he mustered as much strength as possible. And Sakura had been much better at it than he was. In his higher forms, he was liable to destroy a lot more stuff with a punch. So the fact that Konako came close to his bare strength impressed him. But she was slow and predictable. Her movements were easy to read, especially since her reach was much shorter than his. She had a hard time getting close and even harder time connecting. He wasn't really sure how he would do that, but he had to make her much quicker in a short amount of time. Rias was next to go. For a king, he had to say he was disappointed. Rias didn't know much in the way of combat. She only knew range attacks, and she was too slow to avoid his attacks. Her ability was, I would say, fundamentally at its best. She could block and punch, but that was about it. Nothing else. On the upside, her strange red attack was powerful. The clone had seen it had done to a tree and taken care to avoid it after that. If she learned some sort of combat ability and trained herself in order to become faster, she would actually have made a decent tuning. Last was Akano. Issei had to say she was probably the most powerful member of the Pirates. If not for Rias's attack power, she could easily use lightning and fire, along with a few ice attacks. She incorporated flight into her fighting style, which wasn't something he had seen with the others. She was also very fast, faster than Kiba, though it didn't seem like she could use her speed well. And then she didn't do much better than Rias in the area of physical combat. just block and punch. She was a heavily ranged fighter, and he knew that a team where Konako and Kiba supported her, it was fine. But on her own, anybody who got close could do pretty much whatever they wanted, and she would have no way to stop them. After Azia had finished healing them all, Naruto stood in front of them. He examined them with a critical eye. It didn't seem like they had trained themselves. He got the sense that they had some, but it wasn't much. He would have to change that. Okay, let me see this. Let me say this. I can't do magic. I don't understand magic. It's not like chakra, so I can't teach it. But I can teach physical combat and strategy. I may be a dunce, but the battlefield is where my intellect shines. So my training will be harsh, but in the end, it will make you stronger. Intellect, Issei asked. You just stood there. Why move when your opponent can't hit you? It's a waste of stamina. Naruto snapped. Let's start with you, Issei. I don't know what kind of training you've been doing, but you need to step it up. You rush into a battle without a plan, and when it didn't work, you don't stop to make one. I can commend you for rushing. I've done it a lot too. But when it doesn't work, you need to try something new. And you're slow and weak. Each word struck Issei in the heart, and you have almost no stamina. It is the That's the most important part. If your sacred gear increases your power at the cost of stamina, then you need more stamina. That's the logic thing to do. Naruto stared Issei down. You are going to be running for a long time. Issei cried silently. Next, Azia. Me? She said nervously, standing much taller than before. He could feel her fear. He didn't want this to be boot camp. Calm down. I'm not going to kill you. I know that you specialize in healing. You're not a fighter. But I will teach you how to fight. You don't need to be as strong as the others, but you need some kind of skill. At least enough to defend yourself until your stronger teammates can help you. Okay, Naruto. Now then, Kiba. Kiba looked up. I will say that you're fast, and even though I'm no expert, I use that sword of yours really well, and your ability to summon more is helpful. But you still are a very human in every other way. I wouldn't say that I am overpowered. You should be. I have a lot of power than anybody here is used to, but you are still a human in your strength and durability. You may be able to hit your opponent with your speed, but your strikes lack power, and you can't take a hit. Okay, Naruto. Konako, you are really strong. It actually surprised me. Naruto scratched the back of his head. In my base form, I might be a little stronger than that. I'm faster and taller. Konako cringed, showing much more emotion than before. I can't say that it's your fault, but it seems that you have a disadvantage against taller people. You have to get faster if you want to be able to hit someone. You will be running with Issei. Yes. Now then, Rias and Akuma. Naruto looked at them. I'm disappointed. They both flinched. For two most powerful members of the Puriterage, you seem to be least skilled physically. Neither of you know how to fight hand to hand. If an opponent gets close to either of you, you won't have much time to use your range attacks. I will be teaching you along with Azia. I will teach you how to fight hand to hand. Naruto, Rias raised her hand. We use range attacks because Kiba and Akino can defend us. We specialize in physical combat. Yes, but what if you're separated? Or a multitude of enemies? Or the enemy is quicker than Kiba? A smart enemy knows that they need to take out the range attackers first, and then focus on the others. If that happens, then what? I don't know. Everyone should be able to defend themselves. I don't care how you fight. If you can't defend yourself, then you'll be a sitting duck to anybody stronger than you. Can we get a demonstration? Keep it ass. You're the ones who fought. We're the ones who fought with your clones. Are your clones just as strong as you are? Well, they should be. I split our chakra evenly. So if I make one, it will both have 50% of my chakra, and so on with more. But I can make a new chakra immediately, and they too, hmm, and they have to do with what they have, along with the fact that they explode in one good hit. One hit? Doesn't that make them weak? Alone, yes. There's not much point into making just one shadow clone, but I can spam them. I can create at least 1,000, a few thousand. At that point, it's not about skill. The enemy becomes overwhelmed. When they use their attacks on top of that, it gets even worse. Actually, back when I had absolutely no skill, that's how I fought. I made as many shadow clones as possible and tried to swarm my enemies. It didn't always work in my favor, Naruto chuckled. I used to get my ass kicked. A lot. But I can also say that it was one good hit. My clones are strong enough to take your attacks. A lightning strike from Akino or a punch from Konako is all that could break them. Here, try it, Issei. Naruto summoned a clone. Really? You summon your clone? You summon me just to get hit? Shut up. The clone sighed, walking to Issei. Come on, let's see what you got. Issei swung his arm back, stepping forward with his right foot. He punched the clone in the chest. Are you sure you're made of steel? Issei clutched his hand. What the hell? No, but I can use chakra to reinforce my body. If I hadn't, that punch would have popped me. They are so weak they could be popped by splinters at one point. So those were back when the days were good. Good days? Those were some shitty days then. Shut up, Naruto barked. The older he got, the more annoyed he became with his clones. He started to wonder what that said about his personality. Ah, so you realize how much of an annoyance you were. Whatever. Akino, you're next. Oh shit. The clone sweat dropped. You deserve this, Naruto said. Try to pop him. Let's see if you got it in you. Alright, Naruto. Ask me to hurt you. Well, if Sensei asked for it, then I must oblige. Electricity cackled in her hands, and the clone and her cheeks turned red. The clone gulped. Sadists were the worst. Electricity edged forward, racing towards Naruto at the speed of lightning. The clone had time to dodge, but the original Naruto stood there. He was a clone, and he wasn't sure why, but he always felt complied to do what the original said. Maybe because we were the same person. So instead of dodging, he let the attack hit him. Naruto watched as the clone disappeared with a thick cloud of smoke. He didn't feel any chakra or memories return to him, so he knew that the clone was okay. Akino began to charge up again. Hey, that's enough, Naruto shouted, stepping forward. You don't need to fire again. Akino glared at Naruto, seemingly like she was ready to disobey, but then her eyes suddenly changed, and the electricity disappeared from her hands. And just know when It's getting fun. Oh well, if Naruto says so. Jeez, Akano, what the hell? You were going to shoot me again. The clone yelled, emerging from the smoke. His hair seemed to be a little frizzier, but other than that, he looked unharmed. Yeah, whatever, you can go now. Finally, the clone disappeared, and Naruto felt the sudden rush of information. I feel like they gotten meaner. It just means you gotten meaner. Damn it, Kurama. Rias asked Naruto. Naruto asked. Rias perked upwards, looking towards Naruto expectantly. Alright. Naruto chuckled at Issei's increased agitation. Can I ask about your attack? It's really powerful and it gives you the highest attack power out of your peer entourage. What is it? This is the Gremory family's power of destruction. I can use my demonic energy to easily destroy most things. Rias had pride in her voice. Alright. Hey, can you use Senjutsu? I don't think so. Why? Rias asked, putting her fingers on her lip, an action that drew Naruto's eyes. Uh, well, I had this ability that can negate most attacks unless they use Senjutsu. I want to know if your power of destruction can destroy my truth-seeking orbs. Truth-seeking orbs? That's Naruto. Naruto held out his hand. He found it easier to create them when Kurama's chakra, but he created them outside of it. Your eye, Azia yelled. What happened? Huh? Oh, you mean this cross? Naruto pointed towards his right eye. This is what happens when I use six-path sage mode. Naruto activated his Sharingan. My eyes change a lot. They're blue normally, but using Kurama's chakra, they turn red with slit pupils. Entering normal sage mode, they turn yellow with a bar pupil, like a toad. I can put sage mode in Kurama's chakra to make my eyes orange with a cross. Six-path sage mode turns them yellow with a cross. I can also use Kurama's chakra on top of that. Naruto focused. This is the Sharingan. I could see all of the energy that flows through the world, along with the ability that predict my opponent's movements. This, Naruto changed his eye. It's the Mangekyo Sharingan. I know I'm doing some Dragon Ball Z stuff. This is my Super Saiyan form, and this is Super Saiyan 2. I know, it sounds like that, but this is my own little interpretation of it. This is the Mangekyo Sharingan. I can use Amaterasu. I hate saying it like that. Amaterasu and Susanoo. Naruto let his eye return back to normal. And this is the Rinnegan. I can use it to teleport and make portals between dimensions, along with control attractive and repulsive forces. And a lot of other things I'm not sure how to use. And I could combine it with my six-path sage mode Kurama cloak. I can also use Kurama's chakra to make a chakra avatar of Kurama. That's Biju mode. I can use that with my six-path mode too. Your one eye. Your other one always stays the same. And why do you have so many different things? Issei shouted. How do you even keep track of them? And Naruto shrugged. I'm not really sure. Naruto, can you show us a demonstration of all these things? I would like to see what we're aiming for, Kiba said. We may not be able to reach you now, but we would like to one day. I guess. Kurama, what do you think? Go ahead. Alright then. Alright, well then. What should I demonstrate? Everything I know, Issei shouted. We're going to be here for a few hours. But, guys, I'm going to end it right there. I know. It's a bad cliffhanger to end it on. But I feel like this is a good point to end it on. And I hope you enjoy. Like, comment down below what did you like, and until next time, peace.